Hello, my friends. Hello, my diaspora. Again, I say welcome to another episode of our Legacy series. And the response we are getting cuts across in many different capacities. Congratulations being expressed for those who have already graced our platform, and the fact that we are able to catalog what we are doing in our diaspora has been raised as a very important thing that is being done. One of the things also that has been mentioned is in relation to the fact that in June 14 to 18, there's a diaspora conference taking place in Jamaica. And it is hoped that apart from having all the companies coming to make presentations to the diaspora, that they will give those of us in the diaspora who have missions that we have embarked on and accomplished, that we'll be able to share this with the many different candidates or representatives from the diasporas across the world, UK, Canada, Australia, and all the other places, so we can network with each other. Because it's regarded that being there should be a networking opportunity for the diaspora. Might be the only chance we get to meet those of us who are doing similar work for the community and for our country. So this evening, again, we're pleased to have the return of one of our notables. And we are going to turn over at this time to none other than host of the Legacy Series, Secretary to the Cricket Hall of Fame, the Honorable Dale Brown, to continue this dialogue.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor, and greetings to everyone. Welcome to our Legacy Series presentation this evening. And I really am very, very happy to bring back in our presence a very remarkable individual. Now, before we get to him, we want to remind you that our Legacy Series focuses on the historical context of what went on, and we also look at the impact and contributions of individuals and organizations in the diaspora as they continue to shape our journey and shape especially the youngsters' journey in the Caribbean. And so, with that in mind, we are welcoming back Mr. Troy Buller Malcolm, president of the Russies Brother Sister Foundation, popularly known as BRO-CIS. And he is very widely known for his leadership, especially in football. That's where he gained his reputation as captain as one of a few of Russia's outstanding teams in the decade of the 80s. And then he transferred his leadership from off the field when he became an assistant coach to the legendary Emerson Diggy Henry, and they created some of Russia's greatest history together. And they are still spoken about in reverence to this day. And Troy now, leaving the football field completely, has now put all his energies into inspiring another generation through his work with the Brosis Foundation that really is the driving force behind something new and exciting that is going on at Rossi's High School in Lucy, Hanover, Jamaica. So, Troy, without any much more ado, we want to welcome you and thank you very much for accepting the invitation to be on our program. Welcome, Troy.
Thank you so much, Dale. Thank you so much, Professor, and to the wider audience worldwide. It's a pleasure to be here on your program once more. So I'm elated.
Thank you, Troy. And before we get into it, how are you, sir?
Well, lots of work, I can hear it in my voice, I'm pretty hoarse, but the work it never done. It's at 24 hours, and I think I try to balance as much as possible with the workload for the foundation on my personal life and also my career life as well. So it's pretty demanding, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
And Troy, I know you're a man of faith. Do you remember anything about your Sunday school upbringing, the church you attended, and how it influenced you with your world perspective today?
No, well, absolutely, because actually, I can recall my brother and I and my two sisters, it was mandatory. And when I say mandatory, that every Sunday we have to go to church. Sunday school, because I used to go to Presbyterian right beside, because I live at Church Street. I used to live at Church Street in Jamaica. So the name speak for itself, because there were several churches on Church Street. And so we had to go to Sunday school and then to what they call big church at 11 o'clock. And we used to stay there every Sunday and then come home and then you get a nice rice and peas and chicken. And, so yeah, so it was lovely going going to school and going to church back then. But it humbles you. And it brings a lot more perspective when you're getting a little bit older.
Don't forget the total.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, but it humbles your deal. And so if you notice there, sometimes in the morning, I kind of put out some scriptures in my group and I will share it amongst other people as well. But our foundation too, we have what's called a resident pastor, or in-house pastor. This is a guy that I used to coach by the name of Jeffrey Samuels. So every Sunday, he preach on the platform, but it does voice note, but he read the scriptures and he shared it with us every single morning for 1 hour. And so that's what gotta keep the nucleus of us going every single time.
Good. Yes. And in my time, Troy, my Sunday school teachers many of them were also my primary school teachers. Was that the case in your case also?
Yes, you used to have Miss Reed and those ladies. They were very into the church, so to speak, and so there was a lot of us. Even Friday, I can recall even Friday afternoon. We used to go we used to skip from church to church because there was the Methodist church right beside the square right there at the courthouse, and we used to go there and have Friday evening class in the afternoon there.
Right. So if you don't mind, because I know a little bird told me that they wanted to know the name of the school and the name of the church.
Oh, the name of the school? Well,
yes.
Lucy Primary, I went to Lucy Primary School, and also the church was Presbyterian Church at Church Street.
Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. And you mentioned one name. Was it Miss Reed?
Yes, Miss Reed, yes. She was teaching at Lucy Primary School at the time.
Yeah. And is Miss Reed still alive?
Yes, she is.
Oh, God bless her. And I'm sure when she watches this and hear you speaking about her, it's going to really give her a good boost.
Yes, very good teacher. Several of us passed through Miss Reed.
But Dale, he can send her he can send her bun for Easter,
Yes, and Troy, I know you have told the story 1,000 times, but some people may wonder, is it a love for Bulla, or is there another reason why I got the name Bulla?
Well, I eat Bulla from time to time, but not on a regular way. People think that's how I got the name. So it was a traditional thing where my great-grandfather owned a bakery in where now they call it Lucy Market. So my uncle, which a lot of people thought was my dad, set the car, may his soul rest in peace. He passed away a few years ago. So he used to play for this famous Premier League team in Lucy called Retry. That team used to own or operated or coached by a reverend at the Anglican Church Hall by the name of come back to me. I totally forget his name. I think he lives in New Zealand at the time. So my uncle used to play for that team. Or Reverend Walters. Reverend Walters was the priest at that church, and he was also the coach for Rectory Football Club. So my uncle used to play for Rectory, so they used to call him Sonny Bulla. So a lot of people associate my uncle with me. I thought that he was my dad, So they just started calling me Bubu or Bulla, and it just stick.
So you're a little bulla.
Yeah, little Bulla, and that was so bigger Bulla. Yeah, so that's all that name, and from ever since, it just stick.
Yes. And Troy, in the introduction, I mentioned Mr. Diggy Henry, Emerson Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Just share very briefly, maybe two or three things that really you learned from him and really influence you.
Yeah. You see, when there's certain people that comes in your life at a certain time, and that transform your life. And Mr. Emerson Diggy Henry is one of them. The other person was Mr. Colin Miller, who we actually, and I'll touch base on Mr. Colin Miller in a little while. But Mr. Emerson Diggy Henry is also my son godfather. And so it's a reason why he was selected or chosen to be my son's godfather. And so he was humble, and you see him every single day just go about carrying out his duties, his role, and discipline. Dedicated to what his craft is, what he's doing. So I learned a lot of traits from him in terms of how he carries himself, how he speaks to people, and preparation as well. So I learned all those traits from him, because actually there are times, he has a brother by the name of Billy. So Billy used to call me Little Diggy or Mini Diggy, because, I was trying to imitate him so much that, everywhere people see both of us is like, like we were twins.
And the word for that now is mentor,
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Yeah, well, Troy, thank you very much for sharing with us. And of course, you attended Rossi's and you graduated from Rossi's, and you have made wonderful strides in life for yourself.
Uh-huh.
And we recognize that and we congratulate you that, because truth be told, it seems as if you're born in the area, and even to this day, you have not left Rossi's at all.
Gentlemen, and people who are listening, I love Rossi's. And I think, I don't know, a lot of people, because even right now, even a lot of things that I'm doing or we are doing as a Rossi's organization, a lot of people come to me and say, I'm crazy. A lot of people saying, why are you doing all of this? And it's not going to work out. It's not. No, you see, I have a vision for Rossi's High School. Rossi's High School have given me everything that I have, in terms of leadership, in terms of growth. All my leadership qualities that I've gained and learned from Rossi's High School, I take it to the corporate world. I take it to the outside world, and I share it with people. So there's no way, because actually I remember our manager at the time by the name of Robert Hendricks. He took a chance on us. He was, when we were going to play interzone games in Kingston or in Ocean Rise, we stayed at Turtle Towers. We go up from the Friday, so he sees something in us, or saw something in us from way back when, and he played that pivotal role in us. So why wouldn't I want to give back to Rossi's High School? Even last summer, September, October, kids down there stating that, coach, I have no school shoes. And I reach out to the foundation members and I say, listen, we have to get them some school shoes. And we send down almost 20 some pairs of school shoes for the guys them down there. So I'm not gonna stop giving, because that's a part of me. My mom, and I learned a lot of things from my mom as well, because there was a lot of players that was coming from Westmoreland, from Montego Bay, from Trelawney, but just to find a bus fare, much less lunch, was critical. It was decide if you're going to go hungry today or you're not going to go to school today. And my mom kicked out me and my brother, Gregory Malcolm. He's a stalwart as well. Kick us out of our rooms and taking about 8 footballers and feed them, because she didn't know, she actually see some of the struggles that they were going through, because it was costly for transportation between Lucy and Montego Bay, or from Lucy to Westmoreland. So he took them in. And up to this day, guys like Kenneth Gainer Blacks, Edward Chinny Campbell, Shadwick Wright, Peter Ball, all those guys, Donald Hewitt, they still call, and the first thing they'll ask for is my mother. How mommy doing? So I have to give back.
Well,
Yes. And Troy, could you mention your mother's name, please?
Siblicur. Yeah, Siblicur. Yeah. So she raised four of us, two girls and one. I have another brother by the name of Gregor Malcolm. He's also a part of this foundation as well. Worked tirelessly. The foundation couldn't have gotten this far, and because of him, while we're here doing so good and so great.
well, Troy, there's a word for what you do. We call it leadership. And we have one great Jamaican who came to this country and exercised great leadership. And he became our first national hero. So, for my part, I'm just happy that, on your way to greatness, I can say I actually know what school you went to, because I'm not sure I know what school Paul Bogle went to or Marcus Garvey, and I talked to Dale about that I'm very upset that Jamaican history is not being archived. So I don't know what school they went to, even if they are my national hero, and they're not teaching the history of our people, so that we can see exactly where we're coming from. Because we're going to have some kids from Rosays who are going to be listening to this at a certain point in time. At a certain point in time, they'll be listening to you. And you might not be around when they're doing that. But they will know that in front of them, their footprints. And all they have to do is follow in the footprints. And they'll get to their destination. So yes, leadership is something that was passed on to you. It's in your DNA. And yes, DNA is something that continues.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, absolutely. And again, just for our listeners and viewers, this is what this series is all about, the legacy series. Because whatever is done, you're paving the way for them. And we do not deal in titles and entitlement. We're dealing in God's gift to us, which is our intelligence, and not to walk behind anyone, especially if it is because of their titles why you are doing it.
You can't lose that any day.
Exactly. So that spirit that is in you, whether it's the maroon spirit or whatever, that spirit of resistance and that spirit of paving the way for yourself and for others, because as you cut the path, so it makes it easier for someone to follow you. And yes, so I will just tell you thank you very much, Troy, and
you're welcome.
Yes, for everything that you do. And what we want to do now, Troy, is to go back to October of last year and the impact of the Hurricane Melissa, and specifically the impact on Rossi's High School that you hold so near and dear to your heart.
Yes, Dale and Professor and the audience. Yeah, so as of today, for the listeners who are listening, Rossi's High School have two campuses. The first and second formers, they are located to the latter end of Lucy, on the tip of Fort Charlotte, right there, overlooking the bay, overlooking where that new fancy hotel that they just built, Palladium Hotel. So that particular campus was severely damaged. Currently, it's closed. As we speak, it's closed. So all the students have to be going to the main campus, which is down by Watson Taylor Drive there. So that's what the Ministry of Education, I think they came down and speak to Mrs. Anderson, that's the current principal down there. And they tried to sort out exactly how they can best speed up the process in terms of the repairs. Now, one of the first, there was also an area that was severely damaged, which is the teacher's cottage. So in order for school to be up and running, so to speak, they had to actually take care of that first, which they did. So they were able to get back the students into school, and it's not 100%, but majority of the students are back in school now.
Okay, now you said one campus was closed. So you have any idea of like what percentage of the student population is back in school?
No, I don't have it offhand, because actually the population for both campuses was almost close to 2,000 students. Yeah. So just factor in that, you have to try to squeeze out, whether it's 1,000 students that was at the campus too, they have to try to fit them down there. They're using tents and those things like that down there to kind of foster them.
Oh, okay. Professor, any comments to what Troy has said so far?
Yes, well, question is, were they able to go to online learning? Was things like the internet backup, power, tablets, and all the things that they were able to move into during COVID?
And that's a very good question, because actually I'm not sure if you're aware that, and your audience is aware that, you see everybody running and talking about Starlink right now. We install a domain for Russell's High School when the pandemic just started to go global, right? So Russell's High School was one of the first high school actually in Jamaica to install the domain for the entire 2,000 plus students and 105, 150 faculty staff there. So when Minister of Education reached out to Russell's High School to tell them that this is a step that they're going in the next few months, the principal and the chairman was already boasting already that they have that already, thanks to the Brosis organization. So in that time during the COVID, students and teachers, they were communicating on a quicker pace in terms of, getting their homework done. Okay. Now, we purchased a Starlink thing 2 years ago, and we're in the process of installing it. But then when this whole Melissa thing comes, then we have to try to reconfigure everything all over again. But there's the online learning, to your question, some are getting it, but some areas are still without power.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a challenge on both ends.
So we need to clone your mother so she can have money homes and bring all those kids into the house.
Yeah, yeah. And she'll happy to take them in.
Yeah, and Troy, when we talk about bringing back the students into the school community, but what about their own community, and what impact would it have, or any steps taken to address the potential mental issues that they may have in response to we call it the stress disorder that they would have experienced?
And that's a very good question, Dale, because actually, well, Russell's High School always have a guidance counselor, so for kids who are going through any form of trauma or anything like that, they can go and see the guidance counselor. But the old saying might sound cliche, it takes a village to raise a child. That still goes beyond all of us, not just the teachers, not just the parents, but collectively, us in the community kind of getting a kid or two under our wing and try to mentor them and tell them about the challenges, because a lot of them have never seen anything like that or witnessed anything like that before. I have witnessed a category 4 or 5, which is Gilbert, so I know exactly what it is. So even when Melissa was coming, I was putting out information in my WhatsApp group to my members, the do's and the don'ts, what's going to happen at the aftermath. So we have to share our information. We have to share the knowledge that we have and the experience that we have.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned a teacher's cottage. And that leads me to believe that maybe many of your teachers, or a good portion of them, come from, are not.
Yeah, they're not from the area. They're
not from the area, so they travel in.
Yeah.
And so with the teacher's cottage not in so severely damaged, obviously you had to get that up and running first.
Yes, and that's one of the first thing that the principal have said to me, that their first priority was to try to get back the teacher's cottage, get back the roof on it, and then they can start to sift through and see exactly what's next. So they start from the high priority items, come all the way down.
Right. And the one building that is not operational now, how far along are they with the repairs?
I don't think the repairs are started as yet, because I think they're going to need some proper engineering to go and assess fully. Because I know, talking to Mr. Anderson, they were saying that they were waiting on some other engineer to come from Minister of Education. But the roof on those at that campus is severely damaged, and I can send you some pictures after I get off the air.
Professor?
Well, I would have loved to keep the government out of this, but in light of the information that we are getting, the viewers, of course, are going to say, so what is the government doing? Because whether we want to express it here or not, that is the feedback that is going to come. So the hurricane was January 3rd? And
No, it was
October.
October.
You see, I'm being generous.
Yeah.
January was when they were supposed to get those prefab houses in.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I am mixing up my
Yeah.
yes. So in light of the fact that we are talking about 6 months now, and we are speaking about a school that has not been examined by engineers as yet to determine what needs to be done, it seems that they are not moving at the pace that the diaspora moved in our response.
They have visited the campus, but I think the severity of the damage, I think that's the hold up right now, because actually, it's not a quick fix.
I understand, but where are the kids now?
Well, the kids that were on the campus too, which is the smaller kids, the first and second formers,
yes,
they're done by the main campus.
At the other one, at the other school. Okay.
And that's still going to be an inconvenience because you're going to have overcrowded class. You have to set up tents on the lawn and those things like that for them to learn.
So they have not gone to morning school and evening school like we had it back in the 70s.
Well, actually, that was a suggestion I mentioned to the principal at the time, because I think that's the only way that they could go. And what you can normally do is that for the kids who live further away at a further distance, you can make them come on the morning shift.
Right.
And the kids who live within near proximity, you let them go on the evening shift. And the reason why I was saying this is because there's still a lot of areas that haven't received any form of electricity up until now.
Okay.
So you have to also think about the safety of the child going home in the afternoon or late at night. So it's so whenever people are doing this, or whenever any admin or manager or anybody is doing certain things, they have to think it through. It's not, don't think about a quick fix. Think about the possibilities of exactly what can happen.
Okay, but we should be dialing 119 for that situation.
So, gentlemen, we have a very serious concern and very serious situation, because those grade 7 children or first form children, the next few years are going to be crucial to their educational development. And right now we see that it is being stifled, in so many ways.
Yeah, one of the other things that I also mentioned to the principal, Miss Anderson, as well, is that, and this was last year when we had this conversation, that, I think in terms of urgency, we should try to get the sixth formers and the 10th graders back to school as quickly as possible. And the reason for that, I was saying, because, exam were coming up within the next 2 months, next 3 months. So get them settling as quickly as possible so they can concentrate on for studies to get it passing their exam. So I think that was the first initial stage that I suggest to her. So I think they went on that, and I think they were doing that as well.
Is there any plans, for example, we know it's Easter, so they might have a break for Easter. But have they considered that maybe they would reduce the summer vacation period? Because we normally get these 5-6 weeks break in the summer, and so that you catch up for the time that they're out of school by maybe having only a 3-week break in the summer. Granted that the teachers were not working while bad girl Melissa had shut down the schools.
Well, that's a thing that they have to take up with the Ministry of Education, and hopefully they, but I think that would pose another challenge. But but that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad suggestion. So, but even the other day I was driving to work, and someone was saying to me, the public schools kids are out of school again, and I'm saying, yeah, that's how it is. Even in the US, they have all these extra holidays, extra days here, extra days there, but. Such is life.
But in Japan, they don't have holidays for school breaks. I mean, parents work 365 days per year, And a child's job is to study. So, it might be by habit, sanctioned by usage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Troy, the Grosses Foundation, uh, what have you done in terms of direct contribution to not so much the rebuilding, but the reestablishing and restructuring of the educational environment at Rossi's?
Yeah, very good question. Because as you know, we had a little black tie gala there where we had a legendary coach, Mr. Emerson Diggy Henry, in December in Florida. And after that, I reached out to Miss Anderson. So we're still waiting on her because we keep asking her exactly what area does, where we can give her assistance. We can build the entire school. We can refurbish the entire campus on our campus too. But what we'd like as an organization, just pinpoint out 10 action item that you have. And then, we can take one of them and says, okay, that's our project. We'll work towards that project in terms of repair. So we're still waiting for them to get back to us.
Okay. Thank you very much, Troy. And Professor, any more questions pertaining to the educational side of Rossi's?
Well, I would like him to um, make a reach out to our viewers as to how they can maybe contribute to alleviating the problem, and to the other Rossi students out there who might be scattered across the world as to how they also can respond, because spontaneous response is normally what works. When you see the problem, you attend to it. If it gets out of your sight, then you forget about it. Sometimes, that's like a stop sign. You only stop when you see the sign in that case. But how can the diaspora, in light of this information, respond or contribute to this particular issue? As you wait, where can they, for example, make a contribution or a donation? And what you might need outside of that. Yes, we know about the shoes problem, and I've had that discussion in the past with other think tanks that I've been involved with. That some students did not go to school because they had no shoes and they never wanted to go to school barefoot. So maybe we need to have a collection of shoes down there in the in a cupboard, to address that problem when it comes up, because it's not a one stop problem. It's gonna keep on repeating itself.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Yes, because I remember there was a time I wear size 7 until I got to size 13 and the 7 couldn't fit me anymore. so,
Yeah.
so they're gonna grow. So they're gonna grow some of the shoes that they have,
Yeah.
that you sent them. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should, I think, in terms of having that as a part of our process. Okay, and reach out to them, and maybe they can address that easily. Okay.
Yeah, but
Right.
even before the pandemic, as Dale will see, we were still giving, because actually, right now I have about almost 40 backpacks, ready to ship down, 35 sweatsuits, and about 40 lab coats for the science department. So we always be giving, and we're not going to stop give.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Troy, our world famous Boys and Girls Champs just concluded a couple of days ago. And one of the things that you hear throughout sports is the concern for the schools in the Western region. And, it always makes me wonder, because if you're that concerned about it, what exactly are you doing? To help to alleviate whatever problems. So I know the hurricane must have had a really serious impact on Rossi's, whether it is in football or track and field. What can you tell us about that?
Well, actually, the hurricane was a major setback for a lot of the programs them down there, included our track and field, included football as well, because they did get a late start, and in terms of preparation, they were behind the 8 ball, so to speak. So, and How are you going to tell a kid, right, that's lost everything, that when they look up in the sky, there's no roof. All they're seeing is stars, and you want them to come to school and you want them to come and train to go to a champs or to go and play an under 16 football match or a Dakar football match. It's very hard for them to deal with things like that, and the peer pressure in terms of how they're going to cope with it. Sometimes we're asking for a lot, and so even the champs that just passed, I think Rusty's only could send like a 27-man squad, because as I said before, late start, people are still struggling. People are still trying, having difficulty to go for kids to go to school. Parents has lost their job, because I'm in some other groups and stuff, and here the guys are saying, "Oh, Mr. Malcolm, I just received my pink slip, and this was when the hurricane just hit." Mm-hmm. So where's the income is going to come from to send our kids to school? So it is very challenging, So it was a really, really setback. But kudos to the organization of the Jamaica Athletics Association, because I think the Jamaica Football Federation should try to mimic what the J3 is doing, because it's a standout event.
So you mentioned a 27 persons squad. Is that including the boys and girls together?
Boys and girls together, yeah.
Together, just so that our listeners understand it.
One team. Boys and girls together.
Well, that's extremely small.
Yeah, and people have also realized, to carry 100, say to 100 athletes from country to Kingston, it takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of resources. It's not just something that you just go and pick up and go. But these, I want the admin, and I'm not just pointing fingers at Rusty's High School, but sometimes we have to plan better than that. And sometimes we have to prepare, and we also have to show some interest, that try to raise some funds as well. And I think this is what happened to a lot of the schools in Jamaica, is that they're highly dependent on the diaspora to bail them out a lot of things, but you have to show us from your end exactly what are you doing. Just give us some effort, put on some fundraising event and try to offset some of the costs, because as you know, Ministry of Education is not going to give you $10 million. They're not, so it's very minimal. So you have to show us, back in the days, even when I was growing up and stuff, even going to Lucy Primary School or the Boy Scout, we used to go in, them campaign, and then we probably used to mark a donation and go out and beg money on the street and raise funds to buy boots or to buy balls and stuff like that. I'm not saying that they should do those things, but try to be creative in terms of raising funds for your institution.
Absolutely. And Troy, you may have heard in the introduction, Sir Professor mentioned the Cricket Hall of Fame, of which I'm associated. And he himself is a recent inductee in the Cricket Hall of Fame, class of 2025.
Congratulations, man.
So congratulations to the professor. But I noticed you mentioned football and you mentioned track and field and other sports. How did the hurricane impact cricket at Rusty's?
Well, we haven't had any cricket team for a while now at Rusty's High School,
Excuse me, could you repeat that?
We haven't had cricket at Rusty's High School for a long, long time now.
Professor, did you hear that?
Even netball, we haven't had netball in a while. And then I had a discussion with the principal last year, and I was adamant that, because I couldn't see, and what she said to me is that, Mr. Malcolm, the kids, they don't want to play no netball, And I said, Mr. Anderson, we have 2,000 students at Rusty's High School. You must can find 12 that's interested. So when I went back on last August, he said, Mr. Malcolm, I have a netball team.
Right.
I like to, it's one thing, see, what I want, do not deprive the kids from having another outlet. Because I think a lot of the admin in Jamaica, they look at sports differently than here in the US or in England. Because it can be a career. It might be the only outlet for a lot of students. So at least give them the opportunity to try to compete. Because they can become a professional and donate $1 million to that school. Because it's not everybody is academia inclined. You still want to balance it. Yes, you need the education, but some are more better than some.
Well, Brother Dale mentioned cricket, and we have had this conversation ongoing about sports development. And while most of the time we might be talking about cricket development, but in relation to the absence of sports in any school that is, it goes back there to the lack of vision. And maybe and because I guarantee that if we had more people who had been involved in sports as a principal of a school, sports would be more developed in that school. Okay? But the focus is, yes, scholastic. Even as they know that it's only maybe about 3 out of 10 that comes out of high school is going to end up in college. Okay? Or in the universities. We even know that when you're taking your scholarship, it's only a percentage that is going to get a scholarship going way back, to GCE days. Okay? And the technical schools at one time were supposed to fill out that balance. Okay? That was what it was supposed to do. But we talk about the fact we have ministries of sports, and we have ministries of education, and ministry of agriculture and mining. And you ask yourself this question: how can you have a high school and you have a ministry of sports and it is not developed in that school? What is the responsibility of the ministry of sports but to make sure that sports is entrenched in every child's development? The same way we look at all the other disciples or disciplines. Okay? And yes, we speak about that in relations to soccer, cricket, netball, basketball, all of these things. It does not have to be as a career, because we study math, and I had to do Latin when I was going to school, and me miserum is all I can remember now, but I had to do Latin. Okay? It's a part of the roundness. The discipline that comes from sport is unlike the discipline you get from any other discipline.
Yeah, man. It helps. It make you grounded, but it also make you become a better person in terms of, you see, Professor Andale, I don't like to see when students do not get the opportunity to do certain things, and it's a shame. It's a shame that. And mind you, I'm not blaming no principal or no admin and stuff like that, but I think it's an overall thing with a lot of schools in Jamaica. But I can tell you that there's more scholarship being given to sports personnel right now than any other thing in Jamaica. You understand? You're quicker to get a scholarship. Even the track and field, the meet here just got champs that just gone. You know the amount of scouts from universities there looking for kids to give them scholarship.
That's right.
So we shouldn't be, because we have to find ways. We as leaders have to find ways and be creative in terms of exactly how we can get the best out of our students, both academia and both in sports, and also the industrial art. Because actually, I was even saying to a few people, and I said this a million times before, I'm sorry that I did not learn a trade while going at Rush's High School, and the classrooms are there, the woodwork is there, the electrical is there, the technical drawing is there, everything is there. But because we're so brainwashed in terms of how we were led or taught to, do this because you go and be a bank manager, or go and be no, but I think those are also exceptional as well. But I'm saying, I think we brainwash our kids to do things that they do not love or do not want to do.
Well, the schedulers always.
So we should give.
Go ahead. No, you're right, Troy, absolutely. And forgive me for just going back for a minute, because cricket is near and dear to us. And I grew up at a time when Russies had outstanding cricket teams. You know, the Lloyd Taylors, the Elvis Millers.
I was just talking about that the other day. This week I was talking to some guys about that. Because even the current mayor of Lucy, Sheridan Samuels, he was a big batsman. He was an all-rounder.
Yes. And you remember...
He played track and field, he played cricket, he played football, he do everything.
Yes. And I played, you know, you have these guys, Geppo.
Yeah, I spoke to Geppo 2 nights ago.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah, he's not doing too well. He did a back surgery, not doing too well. So he's back home in Jamaica.
Oh, okay. And so it is disheartening to hear that they don't play cricket at Russies for many years. And it answers a question when people speak about West Indies cricket and Jamaica cricket. They do not understand that the participation level has dwindled to about 30% of the student population.
Bill, have you ever traveled to Western Jamaica and your travels going down for the past several years? You see anywhere, any ball field, they're playing cricket? Every time I go to Jamaica, I don't see one cricket playing. And it's a shame, because Russies, yes, that same thing that you're talking about, the Taylor, the Swelly Miller, the Geppo, the Everton, the Coach
Horton, yes,
Humphrey, Bibi, that was a solid team,
and they had a reputation, you know. Yes, so it is, and speaking of the sports now, if you don't mind, can you give us an update on the Colin Miller Sports Complex construction? Because I know that the hurricane had to have affected it in some way. So just give us an update on it.
Yes, so for the viewers out there, what the Bruce's organization is doing, we're building something unique, something that, we want Jamaica to feel proud of, but we also want it to be contagious as well. We're not selfish. We want people to mimic the same thing that we're building and have it at least in every single parish or every single school. So we're building a state-of-the-art change room facility, right, which includes a mini restaurant and a conference room, and that's just the first part of the blueprint for the Colin Miller Sports Complex. We should be able to complete it at least by, I say, probably later 2028, 2029. So, but the target was a 10-year project, because we know exactly the grind that it's going to take to actually get it over the line. Now, currently, the update, we hadn't worked on the project for the past 3 to 4 months since the hurricane. Why? We had purchased some materials, actually close to $1 million worth of materials, and there was no material in Jamaica. So we just get the go ahead that some materials came in. So we should start back up the project probably within another week and a half or so. So we're about to do the belting and decking of that roof. The roof is going to cost us $3 million Jamaican dollars. So that's about 19,000 US dollars to get the roof.
What is your overall budget for the project?
Before inflation, we're talking about probably 35 mil. It probably might reach 50 mil now, because, when we started the project, a building block was selling for about $75. Now it's $150.
Okay.
So you mentioned this complex, and the name that is going to be attached to it is Colin Miller. For the viewers who don't know who Colin Miller is or was, can you introduce him to us?
Yes, Mr. Colin Miller, his nickname is Peasy Miller. Actually, he was the principal of Russies High School in the early 80s. Actually, he was the one. It was Mr. Henry, good friend as well. So in 81 and 82, when we did not leave the zone, we were in zone A at the time when they have Cornwall College, William Nib, Manning's Herbert Morrison. And so we did, it was coached by Carl Digalagi. We didn't leave the zone those 2 years. So 1983, We were at Longacres on the Rocks, and he just looked at Miss Henry and says, "You're going to coach your team." And Miss Henry said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, you're going to coach your team." Well, Miss Henry was a very, very good footballer as well, and a good centre-half, deal. And I'm not sure if you know that, because so he was offered a job, and he just transformed the team. So how I became captain is, I was, after every training, at nights when we were in our dorm, because we used to camp at Rusty's High School there, but we used to sleep on cardboard or probably a little sponge, or, that's how we used to rough it for the 2 months there. But we were training like a soldier. And I used to keep meetings with the players them, and actually, I might start from the goalkeeper and go right up, and we assess each person. Everybody would critique that person, how that person's performance was on the practice field that day. So little did we know that Mr. Miller and Mr. Henry, from time to time will come onto the campus and stand outside of the classroom, because we kind of close the classroom door. So we're just in there having our little meetings. And I guess he heard me actually kind of, leading the guys and talking about, how we can get better. And just one day just handed me the captain armband and says, "You're the captain." And from there on, he and I work from 1983 till 1991 when I depart. So we took Rusty's to every finals throughout those years from 1983 to 1991. Okay. So Mr. Colin Miller now, he was, he had the vision that he had for that complex there. He envisioned that, have a nice changing room, a 400-meter track, right? And a pool, and along with a tennis court area. But when he passed away, I think he passed away in 1986, I think. You're very young age. I think he passed away in his mid-30s. He was, at that time, I think he was the youngest principal in Jamaica at the time. But his vision for Rusty's High School was huge. The vision that he had, and he was just a man of his time, where his thinking was beyond our imagination. So I couldn't see that legacy that he had fail or go to waste, because actually that Colin Miller Sports Complex there, that's there now. The field that was there, Jockey Factory is right behind it. Former Jockey Factory is not there anymore. They actually sponsor and fence the entire play field for us, and so we decided as footballers to take out the mantle and to honor his legacy. And that's where the whole concept. And then we lost one of our former player, Fabian Pirate Lawrence, through a tragic gun accident in Montego Bay there. And a group of us just come together and put our resources together and laid him to rest. And we're saying, no, we must can do something better than this. And that's the whole concept, the whole idea came about in terms of doing something for Rusty's. And because we love football so much and we love the school so much, we decided we're going to adopt a project. And that's a project that we undertake. So actually, when I said to our former footballers and a couple of the ladies that used to play netball that we're going to build a changing room facility, they were saying, so I said, go on Google a changing room facility that Manchester City have, Liverpool have, Tottenham have, because those are first class, and Arsenal. And then you would see exactly what we're talking about. And then they go on Google and they come back and they skip a look at this, and all of us brainstorm and said, that's exactly what we're going to build. But I think some of them was in a lot of doubt at first, and we just start. And then I just set the date. And even when I set the date to do groundbreaking, they were saying I'm crazy. Some were saying it's too quick. Some were saying we're not ready. But in anything you do, you must have a vision and you must have a plan and how to execute. And that's what we did.
Okay. So you spoke about sleeping on cardboard and so on and so forth. Obviously, that would have influenced you and inspired you and the group to build these state-of-the-art dormitories. And so now we can imagine people, student athletes, being able to go and relax, sit down, maybe do some homework or do whatever in such an environment. Was that part of your idea?
And that was in the master plan. That was always in the master plan. And mind you, although most of us are footballers and some academia that's actually doing this, but it's not just for football. So I don't want people to think that it's just for football. But football is a driving force because we have that nucleus as team brothers that no one can break that bond. So, we want, if a school challenge team is studying, they can go inside there and utilize the conference room and study. The track and field guys there, if they're going, they can utilize it and study and relax and rest, because the blueprint is also a 30 male and female dorm after this project is finished. But we also want to do, because there's a old depleted court over the complex as well. We want to resurface that court as well and turn it into a multi-purpose court. And when I say multi-purpose, I'm talking about playing netball, basketball, volleyball, and some night football. And I put up solar lights and stuff because I want to get the kids them off of the street as well. And then the community can have access to use it, but they have to pay a fee to use it, because that's how the school can generate funds that it can go in other disciplines.
And you said something very crucial: get the kids off the streets, which also shows another role that sports plays in our everyday lives. Keep the youths occupied, keep them organized, and Professor.
But it's not just the football, but I also we can engage in some night netball, some night volleyball as well. So I want to keep the complex active. So if it's there and you have the court that's properly lit and everybody come in, because it's a win-win situation, because the local vendors in the community, they can come and have access and use the place as well. And it's a domino effect, because the vendors come and make some funds, they're going to spend it back in the community. They'll be able to feed and send the kids, their son and daughters to school. So these are the things that we have to also think about, the economic side as well.
Yes. So, Professor, one of your favorite words came up, domino, and I know that will lead you to ripple
effects. Well, yes, it is gonna have a ripple effect on in the community. You might be one of two region that can say you have a first class facility, that if you have to engage with external teams coming into the area, they know that the facility is set up to a standard that they're used to, that can accommodate them. And it gives bragging rights not only to the school but also to the community, because it's like when you get a bank, when you never had one before, they say we have a bank now, or we have a dry cleaners. So, okay, it is going to have an effect, because these are the type of things, therefore, that I speak about, the diaspora impact. Diaspora impact. That as a change to scale, you're not feeding one child, you're feeding all the children. Okay? So I commend you on that. I speak about the fact that now we say we have another CPL cricket team coming into Jamaica. I have made some observations about it, and I will be discussing them in different capacity. But I would like to think that they are looking at not only the polishing the top of the ladder where the team is, but the bottom of the ladder where the players are coming from, and they have penciled in investment and development into the cricket foundation or grassroots to feed the league as the years go by. Okay? And I saw the Minister of Tourism at the launch that they had, and he was ecstatic, speaking about how we can market to the diaspora cricket to come down, and to the different Bangladesh and Indians and Pakistanis in the United States, that he can get them to come down. And I said one of the things I noticed was absent from the room were children, because it does not seem that they factored into this great cricket team that they were
That's
involved
where,
in.
that's where you have to start from, Professor. You got to start from the development of the kids. Then.
Yes. And that is why I said I will be speaking about this as time goes by. That when they're signing that contract, even as I saw my good friend, the Ministry of Sports, there taking photographs, and the Ministry of Tourism taking photographs. I hope when they're signing contracts, I hope the contract said that 10% of the profits would go towards development.
Sorry.
10% of the profit from the team would go towards development. Or you say that $2 from every person who goes inside Sabina Park to watch the team play, $2 goes from that, every ticket sold, towards the development in our community. Okay? Because that is how you build long-term investment in a community and in a system.
Totally agree.
Okay, so I'm making it embedded in this recording that we're doing at this time. So it is there established that there are ways that we can utilize investment into our country to benefit our community. But I'd like to thank you so much for this update. And I hope that as we make progress going forward, you will keep our community updated, because as I like to say to Dale, we are not speaking to each other. We are speaking to those outside who are waiting for the message, waiting for an update as to what we're doing, waiting for the guidance, waiting for the information. We just want to transmit, and they're out there waiting to receive. So I thank you for making a transmission this day.
So, Professor, if you just pause for a minute, because as you know, it's Easter time, and it's not just bun and cheese that we deal with at Easter time. I think Troy has something else up his sleeve for this Easter. Troy, can you share your Easter present with us?
Yes, Professor Dale. As I said, thanks for having me, and you guys can reach out to me at any time. I'm just a phone call away, and as you know, I share a lot of information in regards to the Brosis organization with you guys. And yes, so this is our 5th year. We're doing our Easter fish fry, but it's a more unique fish fry than the others, right? So we decided to go with the pan setting, like a small pan for $50 and a large pan for $100. Where, can you see, what I noticed when I visited all these different homes, right? One of the complaints that the families always complain about is, how the house is so smelly of the fish. So we come up with the concept, said, listen, why we don't fry the fish for them? And then they come and pick it up. And that's exactly what we did. And so we started 5 years ago, and it's been going pretty well. Actually, right now we stopped taking orders right now for Thursday. So, so if you missed out, you missed out. You got to put in your orders early, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. So it's going to be
sold out?
Yeah, it's going to be $34.58. Yeah, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. You see, myself and my team, like, which is Poddy and Karen and Carlene and those guys, actually, when we're going to Hunts Point 1 a.m. in the morning to purchase fish. So we purchased about 500 fish the other day, last week, Wednesday morning. And I have to stay with the guys, them to actually clean up the fish. And it's some good, nice size yellowtail fish you're going to get. So the people won't be disappointed. We always, and we might just surprise you guys with some extras on the side.
So it's
okay.
Does Uber Eats gonna deliver?
No, we don't get to that yet. We don't get to. Yeah, we will deliver close in proximity. Like I have 50 orders going to Brooklyn, so probably I have to drive it down myself.
Okay.
And Troy, could you tell us the date again?
Okay, so it's this coming Thursday, April 2nd, and it's at 3458 Boiler Avenue, Bronx, New York.
I got the flyer, and I just want to know if FedEx will deliver to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yes, I just repeat that because I didn't get to write it down. Repeat it for me, please.
3458 Boiler Avenue, Boller Avenue, Bronx, New York.
But
Okay.
Dale is the one who sent me the information.
Yeah. Dale is coming, man. Dale is coming.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that, we're not just talking to each other, But I'm very happy that this event has been sold out. And, if somebody is desperate, would you consider?
We probably can't consider, we don't like to turn people away because you see, it takes a lot of cash to build this massive building that we're building, and so we're trying to raise as much. I want to get this place in a deal,
Yes.
Professor. I want to put it on the roof within the next couple of months. So this is what it's for, and for the viewers out there, we are a 501c3 non-for-profit organization, tax exempt. So please make a donation if you can. You can Zelle it to you can sell it to Russies, RUSCAS.brosis, BROSIS @gmail.com. Once again, you can Zelle to RUSEAS.BROSIS @gmail.com.
Repeat it again.
One more time. You can Zelle at Russies, RUSEAS.brosis, BROSIS @gmail.com.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir Troy. And do you have anything else coming up in the near future?
Yes, well, actually, so as you know, we always try to plan ahead and, try to get, since we kind of have a little setback with Melissa, so we're trying to speed up the process again and hopefully. So we have another event coming up, Memorial Day weekend, which is May 23rd. We have an all-white event. So it's only $30, an all-white event. And that will be in Mount Vernon, New York. So it's going to be 32 East 1st Street, Mount Vernon, New York. And it's an all-white event. So that's the easiest color that you can find. Anybody can find out any white outfit and come. And just come and have a good time. But it's also for a worthy cause as well.
So when you say, what will be the good time?
Getting together. Listen, my best friend passed away 2 years ago, right? And may he so rest his peace. He was a former footballer, player. He played with me in the 80s. His name was Rowan Lodi Samuels. His sister, Marva Samuels, is living in New Jersey. He was living in Virginia. And because of the Brosis organization, because when we gather, we see faces that we haven't seen since high school. And they have met each other for over 10 years. And because of the Brosis organization, we were able to bring those family members together. So we're a family-knit people. So, when you come and you try to mingle and you share your ideas. There are young entrepreneurs there. We have several people that's in our organization who also, they're writers. They have books out. So we try to share our experience and knowledge with each other. But it's also social gathering, was also for the cause for us to raise additional funds for the school.
Right. And you said the date for this was Memorial Day.
Memorial Day weekend. It's May 23rd. And that's a Saturday. And it's an all-white affair. And it's retro music, all 80s and 90s music.
Okay. And this will be in Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon, yes. It's 32 East 1st Street, Mount Vernon, New York.
And they would send their any donations to the same Zelle account?
Yeah, to the same Zelle account. So if you can't make it, and the admission is only $30.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
so
I know it's a little bit perhaps early, but it's not too early. It can never be too early.
Mm-hmm.
I am more familiar with your blue and white.
Yes, that's our staple event. So that one is going to be August 15th, which is a very, very, guys, come out for this one as well, because actually this one you get to, if you love your jerk pork, you get jerk pork, jerk chicken, curry goat, escovitch fish, steamed fish, and music galore, and everybody's come and have a good time. It's a nice family fun day out in the open backyard, and we just have a great time there.
And where is that location?
3458 Boiler Avenue, same place where we keep the fish fry. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And just for those who don't know, just a little tidbit is that Russies was established in 1777.
Mm-hmm.
which makes it one of the four oldest. I think it's number 4 on the list.
Yes.
Oldest continuing
Mm-hmm.
education institutions in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And many persons don't know that about Rossi's. And
they celebrate that. They want to have a big gala down there next year for the 250 years anniversary. So I think they're working on something. So let's see what they come up with.
yes. Okay, so Professor, we're going to come back to you because we're removing the pause. We're taking away the comma. So can you continue?
Yes. One of the good things that I also love about what we're also doing, Dale and Professor, is it's especially about the project, right? We were able to hire local skilled workers, and that brings a lot of joy to me and the members as well, because when you hired mason, electrical workers, steelman, the little ordinary helpers and stuff, that funds that they get, it circulate back within the community, and even the hardware place that we order most of our supplies from, because that the amount of business that we're giving them, they were able to hire additional personnel just to assist in that area. So that's one of the areas that I'm also pleased about.
Is there a credit union there?
Yes, there's a credit union down there, yes.
Okay. I like credit unions because they're normally community based. The money stays there. Rather than filtering out to some banks that end up in some place supporting big business, while credit unions normally take care of their members who are entrenched in the community.
Yeah.
But I'm also sure you're gonna have flyers for for the events that you spoke about earlier.
Yes.
That we can get out there, even if they're not able to attend physically. But the branding of what is being done, the marketing of what is being done is important, because it motivates other organizations. When they see organizations doing things, they said, okay, we can do it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's so funny that you touch base on that, because actually, I've talked with a lot of the other alumni association presidents and so forth, and they're amazed of exactly what we're doing. But because we're not selfish, I said, guys, listen, I want you guys to do the same thing. I want you to adopt the same principle that we're doing. This is what we're trying to erect down there at Rossi's High School. I want it to be contagious, and because one of the vision as well is that I want us to invite some of even Division 1 soccer team from England, Major League Soccer, some universities to come and utilize the facility, because we have to start to build a network, let them come and see, but they need facility where they're comfortable, they can stay and enjoy the atmosphere as well. So, it will be a win-win situation eventually, but, it will pan out, it will come through.
I don't know if you are familiar with Diane McIntyre Pike.
No, I'm not.
She's in charge of the country style community tourism.
Okay.
And she represents a group that has the small hotels, the Airbnbs, and the cottages by the sea. As a matter of fact, her mother was one of the first persons who had a hotel by Negril way back. And what you're speaking about are some of the things that we have actually spoken about, so that if you do something like that, then you're going to form an alliance with those places that provides occupancy, so that when you're planning, the entire community now is involved in that process. So that is something that we can look forward to discussing going forward.
Sure.
But I'd like to say that we have this is the second chapter relative to Rossi's Diaspora Impact, and it will add to the history of our diaspora. I hope that if someone from your group goes down for the Diaspora Conference in June 14 to 18, that they will give you a chance, or this platform a chance, to put what is being done in front of all the other delegates that are coming down from UK and from Canada and from Australia South Africa, wherever they are coming in, so that even as they see what you're doing, it is to be an example of what they can, the type of projects that they can adopt for their institution. Okay, because sometimes they need that type of footprints in the sand for them to follow, or in the snow for them to follow. So they realize that they don't have to recreate the wheel. You know, that these are things that have a direct impact on our community. And when we talk about them and we feature them, they will be more comfortable in thinking big. Okay? In thinking big. So I like to say thank you, Dale, for again, adding this chapter, to our diaspora history. And thank you, Troy, for what you do. I can only say keep on doing it. God bless you, and all the best for the future. Thank you both so much.
Yes, and I just want to say, once again, it's always a pleasure speaking to you, Professor, and to you, Dale, and thanks for having me on behalf of the Russies Brothers Sisters Foundation, Inc. And just some food for thought in terms of, but maybe there's another organization or a group of people out there who actually want to do the same thing that we're doing. I would suggest to them, form a steering committee first, and choose people that's going to be very dedicated and not going to start it 1 month and then they disappear from you. Your heart have to be in it. It's something that you have to believe in, and then you execute. But the vision must be there, and it must be clear in terms of where you want to take the team and where you want it to end. It's just like a football match, because you start at the first minute, but the 90th minute, you want to know that you close out the game. It's the same concept. So once again, I just want to say big thank you to my board members, my members, and some of my members now who are going to work tirelessly starting from tomorrow night all the way through the night, prepping, the Kerry, the Carly, and the Spuddy, the O'Neill, and the guys who are selling tickets like Marlene and those guys. So everybody that's purchased their tickets, donors, sponsors, I can't thank you enough. We're getting there. 3-4 years ago, they said we couldn't do it, but now we're about to deck the roof of the Colin Sports Complex, and that's huge. So a big thank you to each and every one of you.
Thank you.
And thanks for having me.
You're welcome, Troy.
Yeah.